Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my video. In today's video we're going over the new player guide for everyone who's starting Wuthering Waves, especially in 3.5. So this is basically going to be the first episode of few episodes that I will do on this topic. So yeah, buckle up and ready for these tips. So the first tip that I will do is going to be do the story and you'll unlock all the content. Basically how this game works: at the beginning you will not have everything available, so all these tabs that I have here is because I progressed story, not actually too much. I progressed like 5 to 6 missions to unlock most of those tabs, and then of course you get your dailies, which is right here, guidebook. You get those daily activity points which give you lots of union XP. You get 2000 when you complete everything, and because of double union XP you get 4000 every single time you do a daily activity, so make sure to do your dailies. Next thing is going to be your union level. You want to try to level up your union level as much as possible, so you can basically unlock the rest of the content. So that'll basically be when it comes to like the first tip. The second tip will be when it comes to the events, which also is unlocked by doing the missions and stuff, and once you progress the story a bit more on 1.x, you unlock all the events. The one specific event you need to pay attention to as soon as it is available, it is going to be Wind Rider Project. This is the exploration event, and this is basically the quest. Right, these wings on the screen is what you're going to get once you complete this quest. You click proceed and you go to Wind Rider Project. Once you activate Wind Rider Project quest inside Jinjo City, you will have this, as you can see, you'll have this quest right here. So you can go over there in Hoshu Academy and you can complete this quest, and researcher will request you to help them testing the new tool. It's basically one run and it's like 10 seconds quest, and once you fly around with it for this quest, you'll get it for free. And once you get it, you can explore your map much faster and more enjoyably, and yeah, you can get faster to the things like resonance beacons, which can easily teleport you to the respective part of the map. So that's very good. Another thing you need to unlock on the map is going to be resonance nexus, and so nexuses will unlock entire section of the map. So as you can see, this one unlocks this one, and this one unlocks the central plains. So that's very good. Get those wings and have easier time exploring the world. So that will be for that. The next thing that I want to mention is going to be new player events. So let's go over them. The new player events are right here. You have 7-day login on the first section, and it will give you free Sanhua as well as your 10 standard pools. These blue balls are actually standard pools. You'll get free Verina, right? Free Verina, which is the best value when it comes to standard banner characters. She's the best standard banner character. She's a general support. For new players, this is amazing unit because you can already build a strong support for your team, because your team is consisting of 3 characters: DPS, sub DPS and support. So Verina is amazing support, 5-star. You get some limited character pools as well. On a 7th day you get a free 5-star weapon supply chest. The best weapons picks from this chest are going to be Emerald of Genesis and Static Mist. Everything else will be completely skippable because they're really bad. Emerald of Genesis and Static Mist can be used on every single character of that weapon class, so that's why those are the highest value. This tiny sword and this gun right here. The next one is going to be New Voyage Permanent event, which is going to be your union level milestone. So every single time you reach a certain union level, you'll get more and more rewards. You get a lot of standard pools, then you get a lot of asteroids which can be exchanged for premium pools, and then you start getting more premium pools, right? But then you notice you get another box, and this is another 5-star weapon supply chest, and this one is giving you not only the first 5 weapons, but also the newest futuristic standard weapons, which are also very good. The best of them are going to be this giant broad blade gauntlet that looks like a futuristic watch, and then this amazing looking gun. The reason why you want both guns from both sets is because this one is for DPS and the static mist from the previous one is for sub DPS role. So that's basically how it is, while every single other weapon is basically for multi-role situations. So that's basically how it is. You get 2 free boxes as a new player. Next one is going to be the permanent selectable 5-star resonator event. On section number 8, you will get, once you complete this phase, you will get to pick one of these characters to unlock for free. My suggestion is pick none other than Verina, because Verina has something called sequences, as every single character in this game. More copies you get from Verina, the more sequences you can unlock. You want to get to her second sequence as soon as possible because it speeds up her rotation, and for a support who doesn't do damage but buffs a lot, you want to rotate as quickly as possible from your support and start doing some damage with your other units, like your main DPS and some damage with your sub DPS. So Verina wants that S2 to get even faster when it comes to her rotation. So yeah, she's very easy to build. And when it comes to other standard units, to go quickly over them, Janshin since day one of the game was not really well received because her kit is very bad and she requires S2 to even be played optimally, let alone be useful. She doesn't do enough damage, she's not really good buffer, and 4-star units, unlike the 5-star like her, are way better at doing the job that she's doing for her own damage type. So that's basically for Janshin. Next one is going to be Calcharo, my favorite standard unit, and honestly the one you should skip. The reason why is because while he's not a bad DPS for side towers, if you try to play him in endgame modes, you need to actually learn gameplay mechanics, like dash cancelling, quick swapping and all the stuff, and when you learn those mechanics, then you can use him. So not really good choice. When it comes to Ling Yang, he cannot be built because there's not good Sonata set for him and doesn't do enough damage, very whipperable, not a good unit. The final one will be Encore, which is a nice option, but again, I don't really recommend. She does basic attack damage, which can be paired with Sanhua 4-star, which is free at the first day of playing. So yeah, sure, she can be fine, but she's a rectified user and there's no good rectified on a standard banner to choose from. So that's for standard banner. Only pick this Verina, she's the best one out of them. Next one is going to be the Gifts of a New Adventure, and this is basically completing the quests and stories. Complete 10 story quests and you will get a lot of asteroids, as you can see, a lot of cool currency. Then you have these early access available events, and this is basically instant like story skipping a feature that you can skip all the way to chapter 2, like basically 2.0. You can skip to 3.0 or you can skip to newest 3.5, right? Mengzhou, which is the newest current version. So if you decide to do that, you can try, but yeah, if you need to build characters from these regions, sure, then choose one of those regions that you need to build characters from. But if you just want to enjoy the story, just go slowly, relax, enjoy the story, and just get there at some point eventually, right? So that's going to be permanent event that you can always access whenever you want. Next one is going to be New Voyage event, and yeah, she looks amazing, but don't get distracted. So this is what is important. You gotta get 30 days, I have 22 left, to get double Union XP level. So this is basically what you get from your daily activities. So yeah, you instead of 2k you get 4k XP for your world level. Next one is going to be leveling 8, and this one is basically going to be for new players, a benefit that you can use to get early access to the bosses, weekly bosses, and echo fields, tacit fields, and all the stuff to build your new characters like Frolova, Yang, Luke Herson, or Lene, right? Or anyone who's currently on a banner that you pull for. And so you can easily build them early on, so that's really nice, but you should wait until you Union level 40 and Databank level 21 and until you can do that. So the next one will be the Good Value Starter, and this is basically for whale players. Do not get this because it's not worth it. Next one will be the starter banner, and for starter banner we have updated ones with a bunch of characters, as you can see, a lot of characters, and then for the weapon, of course, a lot of weapons. The next thing that's going to be is the selected resonator. As you can see, I chose Lianlan because she's hot and I like using her in Overworld. But this is basically the trial units that you can use, and you can only use them on WAVEPLATE challenges, like daily activities, some missions and stuff. You cannot use them on endgame and stuff, so yeah, they're just here for fun, so you can try them out. So yeah, Changli is kind of hot, Jinxie looks amazing, and Yanlin is also hot. We also have Camellia and stuff, so yeah, I like using Yanlin for now, but again, you can switch up anyone you want. It's just there for you to enjoy, nothing too crazy there. So yeah, this is like for 30 days you can enjoy these characters. Yeah, she looks amazing, but yeah, it is what it is. Now let's go to the next point. Next point is going to be banners and call shop. Let's go for the banners first. So for the new players, you have couple banners as the new players. For now, ignore first 3 banners because they're currently of the banners of the current version, so they are not really going to count if you watch these after 3.5. So let's go over the starter banners, what you are guaranteed to get. So you have this discount standard character banner. Do not pull on this banner, and I'll say why in a second. This one is a regular standard character banner. Don't pull on this one either. The reason why is because you'll get most of these characters from losing the 50-50 on these broken ass characters, premium units and such things, right? So don't pull on standard banners for the characters. Instead, pull for weapons. And the reason why is because you use the same currency, and these weapons you can just choose any weapon you want and you can just pull for it. I want to pull for Emerald of Genesis, that way I can equip my Rover and potentially Yang that I'm pulling for, right? Because it's on this version. If it's some other character, whatever, right? Your Rover can equip this weapon and any sword user that you pull for in the future. So what you do with the starter banner? This is the last banner as a new player that you're going to guarantee have. So what should you pull from? This is what you should pull. Besides Frolova and Augusta, you should ignore every single one of these units. The reason why is because Brand, Yuno are hybrids. Unless your account is fully built, those units will not give you enough mileage to actually clear enough content for now. Eventually they will when your account is fully built. She's for aero teams, he's for fusion teams. But again, you need a fully built account. When it comes to Phoebe, when it comes to Zani, they're incredibly reliant on each other. For endgame, they will not work. You will not be able to clear even side towers if you don't have both of them at the same time. Same goes for Chacona and Kartetia. Like Kartetia can kinda clear without Chacona, but again, Chacona is really needed and she's Sig reliant. And honestly, when it comes to weapons on a starter banner, it's way more valuable to pull a one rectifier that I will mention in a second, instead of being forced to pull someone's signature. So everyone is skipped besides Augusta and Frolova, and that is because Augusta is a hyper carry. She's a hyper carry unit that is doing heavy attack damage, which can be buffed by another 4-star in this game. So as you can see, she's doing heavy attack damage. She's a main DPS and she also uses Broadblade. Why is that good? As we said before, you can choose any standard weapon of your choice. The best ones are going to be Broadblade, a phasic homogenizer gun, and your Gauntlet for the futuristic weapons. For the crystal weapons, as I like to call them, it's going to be Emerald of Genesis and Static Mist. So basically for Augusta, you will pick up the Broadblade, right? And she'll be more than capable to clear side towers, right? If you choose her. However, if you want to invest into her premium option, instead of pulling for this weapon, which is her signature, pull for this weapon if you in version 3.5, right? Pull for Verdant Summit. And Verdant Summit will give you way better results, almost one-to-one with Augusta's signature, but unlike her signature, this signature will basically give you future-proof value. As you can see, it has amazing stat sticks, as well amazing general buffing skill. So this weapon basically gives you up to 60% heavy attack damage bonus for a Broadblade user that you're using this on. So any future heavy attack damage dealer that uses Broadblade can use this weapon, unlike Augusta's weapon that cannot be used on anyone besides Augusta. So that's why I'm telling you to get this weapon instead of her signature if you really want a premium weapon on her. However, the standard Broadblade still works very well on her, so that's very good for Augusta, and she can also be supported by Mortefi. The other option is going to be Frolova. Unlike Augusta, Frolova needs a weapon from starter banner. But here's the trick. Unlike Augusta, signature, Frolova's signature is actually among the best in the game, and the reason why is because it's very general stat stick for any rectifier user, for DPS or sub DPS. Higher base attack, critical rate, as well as 12% attack, 8% death ignore, which anyone in the game can use. Just cast Echo skill after you intro in and start dealing damage. So that's pretty much it. If you deal resonance skill damage as a rectified DPS, that rectified DPS will benefit even more from this signature. So this signature is overall very, very good, and I recommend anyone to pull this signature for two reasons. First, it's the rectified, and the standard rectified weapons, both this one and this one, they both suck. They're both very bad. So having something like Elegy is going to be very beneficial for your account, because now you can have a rectified, broadblade, gun, gauntlet, as well as sword, basically covering all 5 classes of weapons, so you can always equip your newest character. So that's why it's good. The second reason why this is good is because of these 3 weapons. They have a high rate up, and the one 4-star that needs to be built ASAP on your account is going to be Variation. This is the best in slot weapon for Verina. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you don't need a 5-star weapon for Verina to actually be at her full potential. She needs a variation as many sequences as possible. Now, here's the catch. For every new player, I advise you to get at least 2 variations, right? 2 of these variations, and then level them up. And then after you level them up, when you get more copies of them, just rank them up. Right? Just advance them, just refine them, right? When you get to R5, you get more concerto energy. More concerto energy, the faster you get concerto energy, the faster you can rotate off your current character, which means your Verina will be rotating even faster than she usually would if you don't have this weapon. So this weapon is very amazing. It's used on Verina, upcoming Sui Sui. This is used on Bullying, which is an amazing 4-star that's going to be meta relevant. Baija, Verina, and Shorekeeper, which is the best general support in the entire game that you eventually want to pull. So this weapon, at least 2 copies of this weapon, separate copies, need to be fully built, and you're good and ready to go. When it comes to this weapon, you can only use it until you get Static Mist. Besides, it's fine, nothing too crazy, 1 copy is enough. And when it comes to Overture, if you want to use your Sanhua, Overture is the best in slot weapon for Sanhua, because she doesn't really do that much damage, but she definitely appreciates a lot of concerto. So getting 1 copy of Overture and refining it to R5 gives you amazing concerto, amazing energy for your Sanhua to work amazing. Now that's basically for the starter banner. Now if you're in 3.5, this is what you need to focus on as a new player. If you're 3.5 phase 1 right now, you can choose one of these 3 banners. If you decide to do so, I recommend doing as follows. Get Yang Yang. She's basically Augusta but better, because she uses sword instead of broadblade. And who else uses sword is going to be a rover. So now you can cover rover with this weapon, and Yang Yang uses the same weapon. So you're basically getting 1 weapon for both your premium unit and your free unit, which is rover. So rover can clear side towers, and your Yang Yang can potentially clear first 2 floors of the middle tower, even with Mortefi alone and Verina. So that is why Yang Yang is very good, this new Yang Yang, right? Second one is going to be your Luke Herson. And Luke Herson is a gauntlet basic attack damage dealer. For gauntlets, we have amazing budget option. This one gives him additional 24% basic attack damage bonus when he uses his kit. It doesn't really matter the details, but basically he gets even more benefit than any other character on that gauntlet. So very budget weapon, and Sanhua buffs basic attack, so he'll have budget teammate and budget weapon, and also Verina works with him as well. The third option is not going to be a DPS, but the best sub DPS in the entire game. She's a gun sub DPS unit, and she works perfectly on Static Mist, which is a buffing weapon for next character. So she works amazing with Static Mist. She's also doesn't require a specific teammate, because she is a specific teammate for every DPS in the game, and that is because she gives amazing general buffs for the next DPS. Meaning, if you pull for a new DPS like Yang Yang, you can use your Lene and buff Yang Yang to the next level, and then when you eventually get the best in slot for Yang Yang, you can just use your Lene on anyone else. For example, Spectral Rover or Havoc Rover with Lene, they can easily shred the side towers. So that's very good. Lene is very, very powerful as a unit. So yeah, I recommend Lene to any new player. She's an amazing value. If you start in 3.5, you can even afford to actually skip this banner, right? And instead go for Lene and Yang Yang, right? If you already passed phase 1, then obviously go for either Frolova or Augusta. I prefer going for Frolova, but you can go for Augusta if you want her more, right? Augusta still looks like this. She's very cool, don't get me wrong, she's very cool, but Frolova is more favorite to me because I know how to play her and all the stuff, yada yada. So yeah. And so yeah, basically if you're in first phase you can choose one of these characters. It doesn't really change that much. I think Lene is definitely the one you need to secure. However, Yang is like, it's either Yang or one of these two, right? So it's like, just choose the one you prefer the most, because any of them is easily budget, because if you get Frolova you can get her weapon, which is amazing rectifier, you should have anyway, so that's very good. However, this reverb banner, do not pull on this banner. However, you will get 10 free pulls on this banner. Sure, go for Jian, right? Put Jian or maybe Changli and then do a 10 pull. If you get it, sure. If not, forget about it, right? Do that first free 10 pull on Jian. If you get him, it's going to be fine. He's a nice DPS for the beginner players. For side towers, he's good. But then if you don't get anyone after 10 pulls, just forget about this banner. When it comes to weapons, as a new player, do not pull signature weapons because you need to secure as many characters as possible, like up to like 3 to 4 DPSs, and then start to get their best in slot sub DPSs, and eventually Verina will cover some teams while another supports that you pull in the future will cover other teams. So that'll be for banners. Just pull Lene if you're on phase 1 or Yang. If you're starter player, the best options and the safest options are going to be Frolova or Augusta with the budget weapons that we showed from before, right? So that's basically it for the banners. Now let's go for the shop, which is going to be your rebate. When you pull on your banners, you will realize you have this currency called Afterglow Corals and Oscillated Corals. For Oscillated Corals, you get a lot of them, while Afterglow Corals are more like drop in less amount. When it comes to Oscillated Corals, basically all you need to know is ignore everything on this tab besides pulls, right? Every single version we get another 7 of these pulls when it comes to premium weapon pulls, and then premium character pulls as well as standard pulls. So you want to get all of them instantly at the beginning of every single version, so make sure to save these Oscillated Corals only for those pulls every single version. For Afterglow Corals, these are basically very controversial slightly, so you can get a copy of your characters. However, if you're a new player, as I said before, you need to secure as many units as possible, build teams as a new player, so in triple investing into one unit specifically, yes, they will clear easily, but again, you need multiple teams to actually clear endgame efficiently eventually, right? So you want to get more pulls instead of copies. So never get standard pulls because the standard banner is permanent, while limited banners are obviously limited time only, so you only get them for a certain period of time. Weapon pulls and the character pulls for the premium units and premium weapons are going to be where you need to spend these Afterglow Corals, right? If you need more like character pulls, you spend for this, and same thing for weapon pulls. Everything else is ignore it, right? Everything else, it's ignorable. You don't need anything else besides these pulls as a new player, right? When it comes to title exchange, never use this feature. This is the biggest scam. If you convert your asteroids, you cannot reverse back to your asteroids, meaning that if you exchange to a wrong currency or wrong pools, you can never get it back. So that's pretty much it. Do not exchange it, especially for Lustrous Razor, Lustrous Tide, and that's because you can just go and pull. For example, if I go here and try to pull, it'll immediately ask you to convert asteroids to get remaining pulls for your 10 pull. So do not convert asteroids to pulls, because again, there's no reason you'll immediately convert when you're pulling for 10. So that's pretty much it for banners and coral shop. That's pretty much what it is. And so let's go for the last and final tip, and that'll be WAVEPLATES. So when it comes to WAVEPLATES, right here on the guidebook, we have these daily activities. Eventually, you will get another challenge called like spend WAVEPLATES, and this will give you the most amount of like points to complete your daily activities. Basically, your WAVEPLATES right here, this is the energy that resets to the max 240 every 24 hours, right? So once it resets, you want to spend it, because otherwise you'll get less amount here as a leftover, but again, you will lose a lot of energy that you can use for fast progressing your account. This is actually the most effective way to progress your account. So basically what you get with this energy, you can get simulation challenge. Early on, you can grind these XP materials for your resonators. When it comes to weapon materials, you should only use it for weapons that I told you, like 5-star weapons, and your 4-star weapons like variation that I told you, and overture. Anything else, any weapons before that, do not level them up because you'll just waste XP for no reason. So don't use it on weapons, use it on character XP because you need way more character XP than weapon XP. Eventually, right? Forgery challenges, which you will unlock in Union level 20. Boss challenges, which you need for ascending your characters to level them even further. Weekly challenges for your talent progression, which is like your character's talents that you need to like level up. And eventually, once you reach a high level on databank, which is level 21, I will talk more about that in the next video. Once you reach the higher level on databank, you will then be able to get gold echoes, and then you can start farming tested fields. Not before that, otherwise you're just wasting your wave plates. So just use wave plates when you have enough like boss materials and all the stuff. If it is, do forgery challenges, or if you don't have them unlocked yet, do your XP like simulation challenge and farm your XP. Okay, that's pretty much it, what you need to know about these wave plates. You can farm your materials to upgrade your characters, and that's pretty much it. So that will bring us to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to let me know in the comment section below if this video was helpful to you. If it was, make sure to like and subscribe for more episodes coming up soon. So yeah, hope you're having an amazing day. See you the next time. Peace.